Look, there's probably something happening inside of your clinic right now that you might not have any idea about. I know because it happened in mine. One of my locations was not doing a treatment that all the other locations were doing at all for years. Not because they were bad people, because of one verbal conversation from a decade before I found out. I guess someone in leadership had told these people not to do this specific treatment years earlier. And that's just where it sat, silent. We had policies in place for it, we had trainings in place for it, and 6.5 years of properly doing it everywhere else, but nobody had a system to check this specific clinic and if they were doing the treatments that they were supposed to. So verbal instructions, they don't really transfer all the time. They decay. So every time someone hears something new, it's like telephone with monkeys. This monkey's gonna say something to that monkey, to that monkey, to that monkey, and the problem is that they're all screaming. It gets lost. And so what happens is that you get this amalgamation of what they think you said, not what you actually said. So you gotta be on top of that. There's leads probably rotting in your CRM. You can open it, look at your pipeline. I've sat with clinic owners who had 400 leads in their pipeline that hadn't been called at all. Not slow follow-up, not delay, like never called. People who just filled out a form, they raised their hand, and they were just left there, ignored. Like, your front desk is doing their best. If 3 people call at the same time, she's only gonna be able to answer 1. The other 2 go to voicemail, and voicemails don't call back. Your phone call's your lifeblood. Every missed call is a patient who called your competitor next. So we've tested AI to fill that in, we've tested systems to fill that in, and that has increased our phone calls to 73% answered. It's still not great. There's still a lot that we're missing, but it's got to improve. Let's talk about a service that could cost you money. For us, laser hair removal was our most popular service. Packed rooms, a busy schedule, patients loved it, but when we actually did the data, for us, it had negative EBITDA. We were losing money every single time one of those machines were turned on. And we didn't know that until we actually ran a P&L on every single service. And when we did that, we cut it immediately. The busiest thing in the clinic was costing us money and we had zero clue about it. So how many of your services have you run a real P&L on? Not gross revenue, not what feels busy, actual net margin. By service, by month. If you can't answer that, you don't know if you're actually making money or losing it on those services. The 4th thing is staff member improvising. So someone on your team right now has decided that they just have a better way to do something. Not because they're malicious, because nobody checked on them. Nobody taught them how to do it properly in the first place, so they're just making things up. The SOP you wrote was never actually followed up on. And what started as a shortcut 6 months ago is now just, well, how they do it. And when that person trains the next hire, they train them on the shortcut, not the standard. Now the shortcut is the standard, and you actually didn't know at all. So we've written SOPs at 2 a.m. when we were furious about something that broke, but do you know what happened to most of them? Nothing, because writing the SOP is just step 1. You have to make sure that it's actually being followed the rest of the game. And most owners never play that part whatsoever. So make sure you're following up on those things. So none of these things are actually catastrophic on their own. That's the point. They're quiet. They compound over time. By the time you end up finding them, and you will find them, they've usually been running way longer than you're comfortable admitting. The fix isn't complicated here though. Every protocol gets documented, every position gets a KPI, every SOP gets a follow-up, and someone in your clinic, not you, is responsible for checking all 3. So make sure that you go and look at your clinic today like you've never seen it before, because something is happening in there that you don't know about yet. Go find it.